The compound interest lie. You've probably heard that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. The quote is often attributed to Einstein, though there's no evidence he actually said it. It first appeared in a 1925 bank advertisement, but financial gurus repeat it constantly anyway. And they're right. When you're investing, compound interest is magical. Your money grows exponentially while you sleep. But here's what they don't tell you. The same mathematical principle that builds wealth also destroys it. And banks have engineered it so that most people experience the destruction version, not by accident, by design. There's a specific number on your credit card statement that makes this possible. That little number that feels like a lifeline, your minimum payment. It's not there to help you. It's a trap, engineered with precision, to keep you paying interest for decades while your balance barely moves. Once you understand how it works, you can break free from it. Let me show you exactly what they're doing. Here's how credit card companies calculate minimum payments. Most cards use one of two methods. The simpler approach is a flat percentage, usually around 2% of your total balance. So if you owe $5,000, your minimum payment would be $100. Sounds reasonable, right? It's not. The second method is more common among major issuers. They take a smaller percentage, usually 1%, and add interest and fees. On a $5,000 balance, at 20% APR, that's about $83 in interest. Add 1% of the balance and your minimum payment is about $133. Now here's where it gets disturbing. Let's walk through what happens when you make a $100 minimum payment. Of that $100, how much actually reduces your debt? The answer is going to shock you. First, the bank calculates monthly interest about $83. That $83 is deducted immediately. The remaining $17 reduces your principal. You paid $100, only $17 touched your debt. Let that sink in for a second. Next month, you still owe $4,983. Interest is still about $82. Your minimum payment drops slightly to $99. And again, only about $17 hits the principal. Month after month, most of your payment evaporates into interest. This is different from car loans or mortgages. Those loans steadily reduce the principal. Credit cards recalculate interest every single month. This guarantees interest eats most of your payment. Here's the timeline trap. Only paying the minimum takes about 7 years. You pay $8,400 to eliminate $5,000 of debt. That's $3,400 in pure interest. This system used to be different. That meant faster payoff, but higher monthly payments. Banks lowered minimum payments on purpose. Lower payments feel more manageable. But they keep people paying interest for years longer. It wasn't an accident. It was designed to maximize profit. It didn't lower payments to help you. They lowered them to keep you trapped. So why don't people just pay more? The answer isn't math. It's psychology. The minimum payment isn't just a mathematical trap. It's a psychological one. Banks understand human behavior better than most people understand themselves. They design systems to exploit predictable patterns in how we think about money. The first mechanism is called anchoring. The minimum payment becomes a psychological reference point. It's shown as an option, but your brain reads it as a recommendation. When the minimum is the default, people pay it. Even people who used to pay more start paying less. That single design choice drives about 8% of all credit card interest. 8% exists purely because of how it's displayed. But anchoring is only the beginning. Next comes immediate gratification. Paying the minimum keeps more cash today. That extra money feels useful right now. The future cost feels abstract and distant. Then the thinking ahead trap takes over. You plan to pay more next month, or after a refund or a raise. But next month always brings another bill. That future with extra cash never arrives. Then avoidance kicks in. Large balances create anxiety. Big payments feel painful. The minimum payment removes that pain. It feels like progress. But you're not solving the problem. You're keeping the problem alive. This isn't about financial literacy. Even experts fall into this trap. Because it's built on human nature, banks tested this system. They optimized it. The minimum payment exists this way because it's most profitable and just acceptable enough for borrowers to tolerate. Now that you understand how it works, you have power they didn't expect. Escaping the minimum payment trap is simpler than you think. It doesn't require a windfall or a financial overhaul. It requires one decision: pay more than the minimum. Even a small extra amount breaks the math. Let's return to the $5,000 balance at 20% APR. The trap is 7 years and $3,400 in interest. Now pay just $50 more, $150 instead of $100. That cuts payoff time to under 4 years. You just cut your debt timeline in half. Interest drops from $3,400 to about $1,400. You save $2,000 and finish 3 years sooner. $50 makes that difference. This isn't magic, it's compound interest working in reverse. Every extra dollar hits principal first. Less balance means less interest next month. But which debt do you pay extra on first? There are 2 strategies with opposite advice. One is math-driven. The math answer is the debt avalanche. The math answer is the debt avalanche. Pay minimums on everything, then attack the highest interest rate. The other option is the debt snowball. Snowball feels good, but avalanche saves more money. When escaping debt, math matters more than motivation. Here's how to make it stick. Set automatic payments above the minimum. Decide once, remove the monthly choice. This removes the psychology trap. Most people can afford $15 to $20 more per card. The minimum feels necessary, but it's often just comfortable. This only works if you stop adding new charges. Discipline matters, but consistency matters more. When one card is paid off, roll that payment to the next. The momentum compounds. The minimum payment exists to maximize bank profit. Every minimum payment costs you thousands more. Now you can see the trap. One higher automatic payment changes everything. Stay trapped or break free. The power is yours.